Hi guys, my name is Utkarsh Joshi and welcome to my sample teaching lesson for my Teach for India application. Today, I'm going to teach you a little bit of science from grade 8 and specifically the nucleus of a cell. Let's dive right in. Now, all of you know that we need a brain for us to control all of our actions, right? Even picking up something from the table or doing complex tasks or running, we need a brain. How about a company? A company does not work properly if it does not have a manager. If somebody is there to manage whatever is there, whatever is the work there, then it will run smoothly. Similarly, here is a cell and it needs something called a nucleus, which is the brain of the cell, for it for the cell to work properly. Now this nucleus controls all of the actions of the cell, growth or metabolism or whatever it is. As you can see, this is spherical in shape and it is located almost at the center of the cell. Alright, now we are going to dive in and see what its different parts are like. Come on. Here you can see the nucleus, a spherical structure, and the outermost part of it is the nuclear membrane. Now, this nuclear membrane is very important because it separates, listen to me, it separates the content of the cell, the rest of the cell, from the nucleus. So, the rest of the cell and the contents of it, the cytoplasm, is separated from the nuclear contents by the nuclear membrane. So, the nucleus begins here. Alright? Coming into what the nucleus has, you see a smaller spherical structure here that is called the nucleolus. Now this small structure is used for synthesizing something called ribosomes, which basically synthesize proteins. All of us need proteins in our body, right? We eat different dals and we eat fish and eggs like that. We need protein, so does the cell. And here is why the nucleolus is present. Coming into these thread-like structures, you see these thread-like structures? These are chromatin fibers. Now what are chromatin fibers? When the cell has to transfer its characteristics from the parent cell to the offspring cell, it needs information, right? All of you have heard the word genes and DNA. Now these fibers contain these genes and contain DNA so that it gives information from the parents to the offspring when reproduction happens. When reproduction is happening, chromatin fibers are converted to chromosomes. These fibers do not remain fibers, but they converted to chromosomes, which are pear-like structures. They look like somebody's wearing pants, right? Now, these nuclear membrane are very important because they divide the types of cells into different types of nuclei. What I mean by that is, if a nuclear membrane is present in a cell, then it's called a eukaryote. If the nuclear membrane is not present at all, if the nuclear contents are just floating around in the cell, then it is a prokaryote. Coming to the terms, look at the terms here. How do you remember this? Pro means primitive, U means new. Pro, primitive, U, new. And what is a carry-on? A carry-on is a nucleus. All of this is in Latin, by the way. It's an old term, so it's in Latin. So a primitive nucleus, a new nucleus. An example of this is probably blue and green algae. An example of this is probably our cheek cells or our onion and other vegetable cells. Finally, let's all recap what we've learned. We've learned that a cell contains something called a nucleus, which is very important. It is the brain of the cell. And it contains parts like a nuclear membrane, a nucleolus, and chromatin fibers, which contain our genes. Thank you.